Hello friends, it's Kat from Meow Kapow. Winter is in full swing here in Meow Kapow land. It's raining ice, the temperatures are so low they should be illegal, and sunlight has all but left our lives. My body aches, and my mind is exhausted, and I've been feeling kind of rubbish all week. I've been unmotivated to do anything except knit in bed with my cat while watching the Great British Bake Off, but more importantly, I've been just totally uninspired. Any attempts to draw or paint at all have just resulted in me giving up early because I'm just not feeling in the mood or because I'm just not enjoying the process. Truth be told, the painting in this video was done a while ago and prints of it are already long since in my Etsy shop because I just couldn't finish something new. It's a real bummer, and giving into it only makes me feel worse and worse, making it harder and harder to come back out. So I want to talk about two seemingly unrelated things during this paint and ponder: inspiration and ladders. First of all, let's talk about where inspiration comes from. In about 2013 or 2014, I was working a job that caused me to drive almost 2 hours each way in order to make ends meet. Probably one of the only advantages was that I got to listen to a lot of NPR along the way, including a segment that I swear existed but I cannot find any earthly trace of. The discussion was about inspiration and where it comes from. They talked about how a lot of creative people struggle with mood disorders and that there's a misconception that the best and most creative moments in a person's life happen when they are at their lowest emotionally. But, due to some sort of scientific witchcraft, it was actually determined that while mood and inspiration do have a correlation, it's actually in the opposite direction. If your mood elevates, even slightly, you become more aware of your surroundings and observe more. More observations allow you to make more connections, and even seemingly unrelated events or experiences or images or sights or sounds can suddenly click into place near one another and bring on a spark. Effectively, the relationship between inspiration and mood is that as long as your mood goes in an even slightly upward trajectory, it boosts your creativity. However, if it remains constant or even if it lowers, you are significantly less likely to be struck by creative lightning. Which brings me to the second topic of this video: ladders. If you've never heard of the YouTubers Simon and Martina, do yourself a favor and click on the iCard and give them a watch. They're a really funky and fun Canadian couple that lived in Korea for about 8 years or so before moving to Japan about 2 years ago. The majority of their channel consists of them exploring these cultures, tasting awesome food, and going on silly or awe-inspiring adventures. Pretty much every single video is also thickly and adorably slathered in an honest and corny coating of their love for one another, and it's entirely heartwarming. But sometimes they get real and let the hard stuff show through. Martina has an invisible illness called EDS that is essentially turning all of her connective tissues into jelly. This means that her joints are constantly dislocating. She loses function in parts of her body for weeks and months at a time, and she is in constant and agonizing pain. Loving husband that he is, Simon is literally bulking up and lifting weights specifically so he can carry her when she is no longer able to get around on her own, especially upstairs. It's both heartbreaking and heartwarming all at once. Personally, I deal with a number of invisible illnesses that cause me mental and physical distress, and so when Martina talked about how she builds a ladder on the bad days, forcing herself to take any little steps she can to make her day better, it stuck with me. Any accomplishment you can reach for is worth being proud of and worth doing, even if it's as small as just getting up and putting on proper clothes for the day because looking cute can help you feel cute. Or being brave and walking out the door even if you're in pain and kind of don't want to, so you can take the time to literally stop and smell the roses and find some kind of beauty out there in the world. Every step you take up that ladder, every rung, no matter how small it may seem to someone else, is a victory that gets you closer and closer to the top. I feel bad right now, and I've been letting myself feel bad. And letting myself feel bad is only making me feel worse and worse. Not being able to make art is making me feel worse and worse. Like I said earlier, you're so much less likely to be able to create if your mood is in a downward trajectory. So, after I finish editing this video, I'm gonna put on a cute dress, do my makeup, put on as many scarves and coats as I can find, and walk through this horrible winter garbage to a bakery I know around the corner. I'm going to get something delicious but terrible for me, admire the Christmas decorations that people still have up, and try to build my ladder high enough that my heart feels inspired again. Gosh darn it, I am going to build this ladder. What are you going to do to make your life better? What small but spiritually rejuvenating task are you going to accomplish today? And if you need help finding ideas for something to do, check the comments and borrow a little strength from someone else. Until I see you again, I wish you peace, love, and hopefully a carrot cake cupcake. Bye!